Well, welcome back, everybody. Or welcome back to me, actually, because I'm the only one that's had a few days off. Had a bit of a sabbatical from YouTube for 5 days. Didn't do me any harm, didn't give me any inspiration either. But there you are. Anyway, yesterday, it came to my attention that Glasgow were up to various things. So I've done my research. And the conclusion is, as the title of the video says, net zero is about making you and me poorer. That's it. That's the sum goal of the entire net zero thing. It's nothing to do with the climate. It's nothing to do with the weather. It's nothing to do with the planet. It is simply about making us poorer and the 1% richer. Now take Glasgow, which is going to be my example of this. Glasgow didn't introduce ULEZ, they introduced LEZ. The difference being, if you drive into their LEZ zone and you're in a non-compliant vehicle, you're instantly fined. There's no fee. It's not like driving into Bristol where you pay your £9 or whatever it is in Birmingham. I know, I paid it in bloody Bristol the other day. Birmingham the other day. Was it £9 each day? 18 quid total for 2 days? Or was it more? It could have been more. I gotta be honest, I hate the thing that much. I didn't even pay that much attention. But Birmingham, Bristol, London, etc. When you drive into the ULEZ zone, you have to pay to be there if you're in a non-compliant vehicle. Glasgow, no, not even an option. It's a LEZ zone. You drive in it in a non-compliant vehicle, it's gonna cost you 60 quid. Now, where they've got really clever, or greedy, if greedy is another word for clever, and in this case, it very much is. If you do that twice, the fine doubles. And doubles, and doubles, and doubles. So you do that 5 times, quick do the maths, 60, 120, 240, 480, 960 quid. You stray into a ULEZ zone 5 times in a year in Glasgow, that's cost you 960 plus 4, nearly 2 grand. But what have you actually done? Nothing. So, greed, and about making people poorer. So, it's made people poorer in Glasgow, and it's made things more difficult in Glasgow. One of the people it's made poorer is the taxi drivers, because they all had to go out and get new vehicles. Now, they're given a grant for this. I don't know how much the grant was. I don't know what it covered, but I guarantee it won't be enough, because it certainly wouldn't have covered their licenses, their plates, their insurances, and everything else that they would have had to change at the same time, and all the transfers and everything else with it. But it would have contributed to the vehicle. But they put a time limit on that of the 31st of May this year. So that's run out. So there's no grants available now. Well, what they've discovered, weirdly enough, is that taxi drivers aren't making any money anymore. And their takings are significantly down, because they've had to shell out all this cash. So, what's Glasgow City Centre Council's answer to this? Subsidise it in some way? No. Get a government grant for it in some way? No. Sort it out themselves in some way? No. Their answer is quite simple. They've put all the taxi fares up. So, who's paying for net zero? Everyone that gets in a taxi. Me, you, normal people. That's who's paying for it. Not the people at the top who are implicating it. Not the people at the top who are creaming off the top of it. No, they're not paying. The only people paying for net zero are me and you. And now every time you get in a taxi, it's gone up 10% standard charge, but they've put up every other fee, all the extra fees, the waiting fees, the nighttime fees, the bank holiday fees, everything has all gone up. Anything up to 10%. Instantly on top of a cab. Just to cover the shortfall from going over to net zero. So the sum, in summary, net zero means we pay more money. That's all it means. It's not going to make a shit of difference to the planet, what they're doing in Glasgow. Well, you think, if I don't drive a diesel around Glasgow city centre, that's going to sort out the carbon emissions for the world, is it? Is it bollocks? That's like going for a piss in the ocean and saying, oh, I've polluted it now. No, you haven't. You've pissed in an ocean. That's all you've done. And if the wind's blowing the wrong way, you've pissed over yourself, which is largely what they're expecting us to do. That's a good analogy I've just come up with, isn't it? Trying to get to net zero when you're a working class man is like pissing in the wind. The only person that's worse off is yourself, because you've covered yourself in piss. And that's exactly what net zero is. It's an excuse for the rich to cover us in our own piss. Well, I'm going to get that put on a t-shirt straight away for sure. That's right up there, that is. As you can tell, I've had 5 days off. I've come back really cheery. But net zero is now on every bit of media and everything, along with mpox. If you've got a disease that people aren't serious about, rebrand it. If you have to rebrand a disease, and I guarantee you there has been a marketing meeting about this somewhere. This is a whole separate video, but I'm going to tag it on the end of this anyway. Mpox. All right, no, nobody's believing monkeypox. Everyone sees monkeypox and just thinks of monkey tennis or the PG tips chimps. No one's thinking it's a serious disease. Right, we need a trendy name. We need a name that kids are going to get down with. Okay, let's call it mpox. Yeah, baby, that's good. I like that. That's blue sky thinking, etc., etc. You can see it happening. And now that's starting to creep in everywhere as well. And no doubt that's going to fill my feed for about the next year as we go back into lockdowns, etc., etc. But for now, they're still punishing us with climate change and net zero until they realise that we've realised it's bollocks. And then it'll be on to the next one, which will be mpox, of course. So that's something to look forward to. But anyway, so there you are. Net zero makes us poorer and everyone else, or not everyone else, the one